but taking them out on backboards, heading to, if you have loved ones in the area, we're being told the injured are being taken to Harborview Medical Center. Harborview Medical Center there. And again, it was a Ride the Ducks tour boat that was involved in a collision with a charter bus there in the Seattle area. I have Peter Valdez de Pena with me, covers transportation, vehicles for CNN Money. He's jumping in. I also have Jonathan Gilliam on the phone, former FBI, to talk about the quick response here. Peter, first to you. Listen, this is just happening, so let's be clear. We don't know why this has happened or really beyond the fact that these two buses came together. But a duck boat. You see them around. I see them in Boston a lot. They go in water.
Yeah, these were originally designed as World War II combat craft because they had the amazing ability to go over the water and you could drive right up onto the beach. So they were ideal. They were used in D-Day, for instance, ideal for any kind of a marine invasion. Since then, they have found a lot of use as firefighters and things like that, but also a lot of times as tour vehicles, because it's fun to be able to be in a vehicle that can drive on the land and go right into the water.
Do you know if you buckle in on a duck boat? Are there seatbelts?
Ordinarily, on most buses, there aren't. I don't know the answer to that in this particular case. On many buses, seatbelts are often not required in vehicles like this that have a lot of seats.
Okay. Jonathan Gilliam, are you with me, sir, on the phone?
Yes, I sure am.
Okay, so I'm got one eye on Peter and one eye on this scene. We're looking as close as we really can to this triage situation that has now been set up right next to these two, the duck boat and the bus. I mean, talk me through. I mean, I'm seeing so many first responders, firefighters. When they had a wider shot, I mean, I must have counted like 10 fire trucks all responding to this scene. Priority, obviously, are those who are injured and critically. What's happening right now on the bridge?
So I think the key word here is what you just said a second ago, which is triage. When first responders get there, they have to assess the situation and they have to figure out where the most critically injured people are. At the same time, you're going to have officers that are going to be controlling the traffic because as they figure out how bad this accident actually is, they're going to have to get those people to the hospital. At the same time, they're having to keep the city flowing at the same time. So this becomes a real, I wouldn't say standardized, but law enforcement has a way that they do standardize the way they react to these things and control the city. But as soon as they start, as first responders start pulling people out, they have to start looking at the injuries. I'm looking at the pictures of this, and these look
at that bus.
Pretty profound
Look at that bus, Jonathan. I mean, that whole, almost it looks like the left side is shattered and gone.
Yeah, I'm not sure how fast they were going in this. We've seen accidents across the United States with these different tour buses. I'm not saying that the bus is at fault here, but we have a couple of problems here. It looks like potentially speed. And then also these duck boats are open canopy. Sometimes they don't have a canopy on. So, if somebody doesn't have a seatbelt on in these duck boats, they literally could be thrown out. And that's a major problem.
I'm just getting some new information. Harborview Medical Center, as we mentioned, that's the hospital anticipating a number of these who are injured. The nursing supervisor has now told CNN they're expecting 25 patients with unknown injuries. So I'm trying to understand, this must be such a challenge for these first responders, Jonathan, because here they are, and I don't even know how many people. I don't know if the bus was full or the duck boat was full, but you have to anticipate they are dealing with a number of people who are injured, pulling them out, as we're seeing here, on stretchers, on backboards. How do you quickly assess who is most injured and how do you get them out as quickly as possible?
Well, typically if somebody can talk in an accident situation, if they're actually responding to questions, then you know that you can triage those people down the line. If it's a broken leg, that's different than somebody who's completely knocked out. You have to then look at that person and say, are they breathing? And then triage that person to a certain level to try to get them out of there. You look for head injuries. You look for profuse bleeding. But really, if somebody can talk to you, then they can sit there for a minute while you get the other people out. And, one great thing about first responders is that they deal day in and day out with accidents, and they have good communications with the hospital. So as they're actually going through and triaging these people, the first responders, the firemen, the paramedics, they're letting the hospitals know this is what we have and this is what we're bringing to you, so that they actually can be prepared for those numbers of people that are coming.
When they took that wide shot, I haven't seen that many ambulances and fire trucks on a scene in quite a while. Jonathan, stay with me. Peter, let me just bring you back in as they're staying on the steady shot of the bus. And yes, speed could